Good evening and welcome to the Reston Community Center Board of Governors meeting for April. And it's not a joke, it's April the 1st, 2024. Meeting now called to order. First order of business is approval of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Next order of business is the approval of the minutes from March 4th.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Next order of business is the approval of the March 4th board actions.
So moved. Second.
It's moved and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
I'm abstaining, so I wasn't there, but she was there.
Okay. One abstention. Okay, next order of business is the chair's remarks. The chair actually went on a vacation, kinda. We got to go to Virginia Beach for a few days, and it was great. We got up at sunrise to watch the dolphins. And we're gonna go, next year we're gonna go in the other months because between January and now, there are whales that come in. But we got to see the dolphins jumping out in the water. And we got there just as the cold snap ended. And when we left today, it was 80, and it's gonna be cold tomorrow. So they know we came. This is a Henry Wadsworth Longfellow poem, The Psalm of Life. And before I do that, it has been so wonderful at these last performances of the performing touring series to see Lila getting her flowers literally and figuratively while she's still here. That is just so great. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust thou returnest, was not spoken of the soul. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow find us farther than today. Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though, I wish they were playing a different song. It's messing with my flow. Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating, funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb, driven cattle. Be a hero in the strife. Trust no future, however pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present, heart within and God o'erhead. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing o'er life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing. Learn to labor and to wait. And I will discuss with them next month what rhythm they should play for my poem. That's disconcerting. Okay, but it's a lovely poem. So if you, it's called The Psalm of Life, and it's by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. The next order of business is something that we're so happy about. We have introduction of visitors.
So can you just tell us who you
Just
are?
Introduce yourself.
Tell us who you are.
You signed in first. Sign up.
Just tell us your name and where you're from, like what part of here?
I'm Thomas, and
Did you say you were a scout?
yeah, scout from Troop 1313.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you do a lot of good things in the community. I know a lot about 13. Well, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thomas.
Sir. Welcome, Thomas.
Glad to have you.
And
That's my
And
turn.
who's with you?
I'm Warren Kuczewski, I'm, I guess, not dad. And we're here because he needs to learn what it's like to observe and participate in civic discourse.
Wonderful.
Oh, great.
Hey,
Well,
thank you both for being here.
Yeah. Thank you for coming, because I usually read that part and there's no guest. So you've helped us out tonight. Next order of business is the committee report from March 11th from our Community Relations Program Policy. Mr. Stilson?
The meeting was more or less a follow-up from the meeting in February to discuss the survey. We're having the 5-year survey coming up, and Laura Fitzgibbon is the
Kara.
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 Kara. Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
She's from the University of Virginia Survey Research, and she more or less gave to the public a description of the survey that we got in more detail in February. I am very impressed with her. I have been every time I've seen her. I do know something about statistics, and survey research is not an easy topic. It's very technical, actually. And she was able to describe the differences between the probability survey and non-probability survey and the stratified sampling that they were using. And I thought she described it very well. They are going to have a shorter survey than 5 years ago, which is, I think, good. And hopefully get a stronger response. She went over some of the details for the public. And also mentioned the cost, $100,000, or $101,458, which seems like a lot, but it's a big project. It really is. And it helps us a lot, as we've already seen. And that will go into the new strategic plan as we finalize that. So that's what happened.
Thank you. The next is the April 1st Long Range Committee meeting. Mr. Bowie?
That's not a joke. We
That's
actually
not a
did
joke.
meet this evening, the Long Range Planning Committee. We had 2 things on the agenda. One was to review revisions to the policies, procedures, documents. We went over those changes. They were accepted. And we will move ahead with those once we have a motion to accept those.
So moved.
Is there a second? Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so that moved forward. The second thing was a discussion around a decorative solar art installation that will be a partnership between the county, a Reston-based organization, a Solio, decorative solar, and Smart City Works. It is it's an art, environmental thing to provide charging stations out on the plaza for the public, which is gonna be really, really cool. The even better part of it, it's free and at no additional cost to us and no maintenance to us or anything, so that's good. And so, a motion came out, or a motion needs to be made to have the staff and the executive director proceed with negotiations on an MOU to solidify the agreement.
So,
Second, and just, I think it's already sort of implied in there, but in a location that brings the executive director joy. Because like there are a bunch of locations, I assume that this wasn't an and situation, this was an or situation.
Absolutely.
So, a location that brings you joy.
All of them.
So do you accept that friendly amendment to the?
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. That motion carries. And then I'd like to make a motion to accept all of the committee reports.
Second.
All those in favor, it's been moved and second.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Next order, thank you, Mr. Boone.
Anytime.
Yeah, okay. You wash my hands. Now, next order of business is the board member input on activities attended since last we met. And we'll start with,
All right. I attended the second iteration of the community relations meeting with Karen.
okay.
Well, so yeah, so did that meeting as well as the volunteer appreciation event and the following performance by Shenandoah Conservatory and Friends of Slavic Dreams, which was
Really?
really good. I really enjoyed that. They are amazing. And one of the violinists came from Turkey to perform. It was a wonderful performance, and as usual, they paid great tribute to our executive director, and it was fabulous.
It's getting a little embarrassing.
So now they got to kick it into high gear, right? Because now it's starting to show fruit. I
Where do
think-
you see the elephants?
Yeah, those are the ones.
As my mother would say, you brought that on yourself.
I did.
I attended lots of meetings, and also the complaining, the meeting last month.
I missed the meeting last month, I was out of town, kind of getting a little bit of R&R in there, but I would like to add that, I think it's related to some of the things I'm trying to do in this community and around Northern Virginia, is look into a lot of diversity, equity, inclusion, and how it's being, you know, not presented, but how it's being addressed without, through communities. And we here at RCC, I think, are way ahead of the curve. If any of you are watching the news, you know that DEI is under attack, not just here, but across the country. And some of the people are really in the field. We're looking at how it's being attacked is stronger, but how it's being attacked and what it means, and some of the code words are for it. So pay attention, because I was talking to a gentleman who has done this for over 30 years, and he said, really, people who work in DEI do truth telling, and sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. And I just share that with you right now, because there's a lot will be happening in the future, so a lot I'm doing out in the community. We have Founders Day coming up soon, which you don't know about. If you don't know about our founder, most of everybody in this room knows Bob Simon. We need to find out why he started Reston and what that was all about, and how it was a big deal in the 60s to have a place where everyone from different races, socioeconomic groups, all that could live, play, and work together. And still now some people don't want that. And it's something I will continue to fight for. And so that's what I've been doing a little of, but it'll be wrapping in here a lot more to RCC soon. But that was my past month of March.
of course, I attended the Rolling Planning Commission, which I just gave a report on. Didn't do any other activities for the community center this month. Mainly a lot of medical meetings for my wife.
I too was at the meeting just for a little bit, and then I had to run to something else. So I only got to see the setup early. And then we were on vacation. We were holding out hope for the enormous egg hunt, but it was flooding essentially. So we did our own indoor egg hunt that day. I'm trying to bring, you mentioned the Slav, like the violence from Turkey. I reached out to PD because I'm trying to bring my accordion instructor here. He lives in Belgrade.
Wow.
We do our lessons virtually, but he's like this great traveling accordionist. So more international music coming up, hopefully.
We'd be shocked if they say something.
Okay, I went to the combined meeting with everybody, the RCC volunteer event, which was very interesting because it was under-attended because all of our volunteers were working. And so people would come in and say, I'm taking these for whatever, you know. It was a great event. The Shenandoah Conservatory. I had said the other day, for my soul needs, I need a really great orchestra, some opera, and dance. The Shenandoah Conservatory that was just amazing, totally beautiful. And to go along with that, so far I have no opera, but the Cleo Parker Robinson dancers. I mean, if you have never seen them, you haven't seen dance. And I'm so glad you asked for rain, because that was the most exquisite choreography. Their bodies, I went home feeling pain, but it was just gorgeous to watch. I am with the RCC bowling, and since I have had gel infused in my knees, I'm getting closer to getting 100. I got 98 and 92 last week.
Wow.
I can actually almost bend. Bowling standing straight
Watch
up.
out.
It's not, yeah, it's great for wheat, but not for any other thing. And I saw what probably is his swan song, Mr. Vaudeville. I mean, if you've never seen that, you've missed it now, because I don't think he's going to be doing it anymore. But it's such a fun show, and the fact that all these kids get to participate in it. The one detractor that I found is that comedic timing is not born. It has to be taught, carefully taught.
Well,
But the kids are great in the fact that they called Linda up as a cow. That was just so great. I thought they were coming to get you.
no,
It was a good bet.
that would not have happened.
Because it's like a pantomime, and so audience participation. And when I saw them walking towards the back, I said, he's not going to ask Lila to come up as a cow, is he? But he took Linda, which was close.
She was good.
She was good. She was a good cow. And the next order of business is the executive director's report.
So, we spoke earlier this evening about the energy utilization improvement project. Contracting has begun, and purchasing of the new equipment associated with that project is underway. There was a flooding incident a couple months ago at Lake Ann, and all of that has been remediated and repaired. BB is our equity impact ambassador for One Fairfax, and the annual equity impact plan has been finalized and submitted, so that's under review now at the county level. We served more than 250 young people with Diva Central and gave out more than 200 dresses and hundreds of accessories. There were performances along with Cleo Parker Robinson, E. Vensler, formerly known as E. Vensler B. We talked about that last month. She was here with us. We screened the film Selma. We had very successful craft afternoon events at the Opportunity Neighborhood locations in Reston. That occurred 3 days in the spring break week last week. Dan and Claudia Zanes made their appearances at Langston Hughes Middle School and at South Lakes, and we served over 1,200 kids in that effort. We had the Youth Art Month exhibits here, which involved Dozens of young artists' works on display at the Hunter's Woods and the Lake Ann exhibit areas. We had receptions and that had 400 plus people attending. We had a save, I think I notified all of you, in the pool downstairs last month, and the swimmer who was rescued is recovering and looking forward to returning here to swim, so we really appreciate the work by our aquatics professionals. And Bev mentioned Mr. Vaudeville. We also had a really fantastic ceramics workshop by an artist, Bill Van Gilder, and people came from all over for that, and we even had somebody who came from Utah to attend his workshop, which was fantastic. We had our first Philadelphia Flower Show trip since the pandemic, which was really wildly and enthusiastically enjoyed. Our March website blog, for those of you who haven't seen these, Lorna has added blog stories to the website, to the news and information page of the website, and those in turn get posted and uploaded to our social media platforms. And this year the profiles in honor of Women's History Month were of BB and Latanja Snelling, who's our Equity Partnerships Director, and they generated tremendous positive feedback and engagement on the social media platforms. We have a new budget execution database tool that's in testing that we hope to launch in May. We're undergoing a full systems audit of RecTrack and WebTrack, which is the underlying software that we use for enrollment and pass sales. This doesn't sound like something really major, migrating from plug and pay to PayTrack, but anytime you change the gateway processing for credit card activity, it can be a nightmare. So BB is shepherding that, and so far, so good. We are going to have to redo the recruitment for our box office manager position because we were turned down salary-wise by our top candidates for that effort. And I go to a lot of meetings too, which is one of the things that I'm enjoying so much in this final year of meeting attendance.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next order of business, is there any continuing business?
All right, so this is actually something I missed, but I'm still gonna mention it here. I think did the South Lakes boys play in the state finals after our last meeting?
It's in the minutes of your last
It
meeting.
is.
That we knew that they were playing,
That
we
they were
did
playing.
not know they were the champions.
Gotcha, yeah, right, so they won the game and it was not close.
Yeah,
They
we heard about
they
that.
kind of crushed them, but it was really kind of amazing. I mean, just the stands were full, and there were so many people that I saw there who don't have kids there anymore, or like alumni were there.
Yeah.
Like, it was just this incredible sea of community there for
Exciting.
for the game down at VCU. It was
That's
just
cool.
absolutely, and the one thing that I thought was really great, that was actually South Lake's second ever state championship for basketball, and it was led by Jordan Scott. The first time South Lakes won a state basketball championship, Jordan's mother was leading that team. So now the girls have a win and the boys have a win, both led by a Scott. So anyway, yes, and though she was at the time Winters, but yeah. So there you go.
Well, that was interesting.
Quick update.
This is all part of our big fabric of Reston or whatever. Look at all of the event reminders. Believe it or not, I will be concertizing on April 4th.
It's in my phone. I'll be there.
Yes.
Look forward to it.
That RCC, yeah.
And on Founders Day, which is
Saturday.
thank you.
The track fishing.
That is the day that Another Way of Living, the story of Reston, Virginia, will be uploaded to our RCC YouTube platform and available for the whole community to see there. So that is really an incredible outcome for an event that we started more than 10 years ago, and will be a great way for people to access Reston's history and story.
We are very lucky to have that.
Yeah.
And
You know
the-
who
and the
the
brilliant
former
woman who
was
created
there?
it.
Who
Yeah,
created
thank you
that?
very
Do you know?
much.
Oh, hey,
Our own homegrown
Yes.
professional documentary filmmaker,
It's
Rebecca Wingert.
Yes.
And I think it's so, I think, you know, we were so lucky that we did that when we did it, because when you watch it, it's hard not to cry, because so many of the people
I
Yeah.
know.
are
Right.
lost. They're,
Right.
well, they're not lost, they're,
Yeah.
but.
They showed, the, Reston Museum has from time to time little bits and pieces, and you go like, oh, and you forget, yeah, people aren't here.
Yeah.
So, a lot of legacy of Reston of that.
And that was a lot of why we embarked on that project.
Mhm.
Committed citizens.
Is there any new business? Okay, well, we want to thank our guests for being here tonight. We hope you learned something.
Is it over?
It's
Well,
over.
it's about to.
Now to me.
It's a short one. Does he have any questions for us, Thomas?
Does he want-
Thomas, what do you need? Yes.
If there's a disagreement, I need to report what that is.
Disagreement.
There were no
We
disagreements.
didn't have any
There's a
disagreements.
disagreement here somewhere.
No.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
No disagreements.
No disagreements.
Oh.
We can make one up.
No, we can't.
No, we can't.
No, we can't.
No.
All right.
No.
Yeah, we
No.
don't have any disagreements today.
No.
We can't give you a disagreement.
No, yeah, all-
You
all-
could carve about 10 hours out of your life and go to some other community.
Yeah. We're very
But
efficient.
not
Our
here.
rest of us is easy.
Yeah.
amendment to the notes,
No, we made some corrections though. We disagreed with our minutes of a past meeting and we made corrections to those. How's that? Will that work?
Did you expect disagreements?
I expected there would be one
At least one.
We try not to.
That's fair.
We try
Sorry.
not to do that.
Yeah.
We're 9 and we speak in what, we're missing one.
Thomas,
A couple of them, but we usually speak in one voice. We're usually in agreement.
Well,
Can I ask you a question? I know you said you were a scout. You mind telling me what badge are you working on?
I'm working on citizenship and community.
Oh,
Okay, that's
That's
neat.
cool.
Citizenship.
Well, good
All
luck.
right, thank you very much. Good luck with that.
That's fun.
All righty.
Well, we will record your presence here. Thank you for
And
coming.
Thank you for
carry
coming.
out into the community that there were no disagreements. Okay?
So can you discuss the shape or form of the public art installation that will include the solar array?
Yes.
A copy of the.
Yeah.
We'll give you a copy. We did that at our earlier meeting.
So I'll tell you, I was in a community a long time ago and there was an installation of that kind, and then a lot of people disagreed after the fact.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's,
We played some of our old tapes.
Yeah, right.
Years past, there are lots of disagreements.
So we'll finally be able to charge our car.
Yeah.
Cars?
No,
No, this
No
phones,
cars.
phones.
Oh.
Yeah, this isn't the car charging system, just a
I
phone.
don't think you'll ever get.
Solar phone charging.
But
Is there
that's
an intention to ever have chargers here in the
Wouldn't
parking
you be
lot?
able to, get an charger at some point? There's a lot of money running around the country for that purpose.
Right.
The county does have a program for that, but I don't know what.
eventually, this is all in our notes from all the energy utilization improvement discussions, but
Yeah.
yeah, we will have the infrastructure, but we aren't installing one until there are many more of them.
Yeah.
Okay, and the reason we don't have disagreements is that any little discussions like this, we have after I adjourn the meeting.